Hello, Christina's World Kitchen. I'm Christina Martinez Williams, and I am going to make a Mediterranean-inspired garlic herb chicken and veggie skillet. So it is going to be really delicious. It's using a lot of the flavors that I've tasted here and that I know are used more regularly. And we just went to the store just where there's fruits and vegetables and got some of that today. So I have a pound of chicken that I am putting here. Let me see if I can angle this a little bit. All right, so I have a pound of chicken. I didn't turn this on. I thought I turned it on. And I am going to add to this, 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. Which this might not have been the best way to do that, but all right. So I don't know if that's actually 1.5. The goal was to take out 1.5 of this cup, but I think it's a little bit more. But the goal is 1.5. Now I'm going to mix this. I also learned from Vanessa today how to make a really yummy pasta that I'm going to make another time. But it is pasta with tuna and tomato and egg, and it was really good. So I'm gonna make that with low carb pasta in the future. So I have a pound of chicken. I'm going to season this with a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and get this lightly spread over. I think that was almost, this is not quite exact measuring spoon, but it will work. Tell me where you're watching from. Thumbs up, hearts, share this video. If you like Mediterranean food, put like it. If you're not sure, put not sure. Oops. And I'm also going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. This is like Mediterranean salt. It's Atlantic salt, sea salt. And I never really know how to get it out easily. So I think that's really good. Tell me where you're watching from. Thumbs up, hearts, share this video. And I don't think I actually got it so much. There we go. And we're going to get this cooking, this chicken cooking. And then while the chicken is cooking, I'm gonna mix this with this salt and pepper and the oil. Then we're going to start cutting some more of our veggies. So while this chicken is cooking, you can cut, I already cut a couple, but you can cut the others too. So I already cut 2 bell peppers. So these red bell peppers are like this big here. So this would be equivalent to 2 in the United States of red bell peppers. So I cut them in chunks. You can cut them as slices if you want. And then I have 1 onion sliced. So in slices like this. And so that's already cut, but I would do that while this is cooking, is what I would do if I was doing it myself or not further life. And then now we're going to, let me angle this a little bit. Now we're gonna cut some of the other stuff that we need. So we're going to cut our tomatoes and our zucchini. So our tomatoes and our zucchini. And the tomatoes, so let's see, I'm gonna put them probably in a separate container once I have them cut, so it's easy to put in. So I'm gonna dice my tomatoes, and while the chicken is simmering or cooking. Tell me where you're watching from. We went to the beach today for the second day because it was beautiful. It was actually way less windy, so there weren't as many waves, which Kalea was disappointed about. I got in for a moment and not even past my knees. It was really cold, but I was able to do that much, which I didn't do that yesterday. It was way too cold yesterday. But the girls got in for quite a while and then played in the sand for a while, and then we walked back along the beach. It was really nice. The alleyways here, there's like a bunch of houses along a strip and then alleys every so like a half a block. And then the alleys go all the way to the beach. And you can walk all the way along the beach. A lot of the places that we saw have like walls where you can't see into the yard of the house. So that was a little different than what we see on the beaches in the US. There was maybe one that had like a see-through fence or like a not chain link, but kind of like that. The rest was like walled. And then just like lots of this beach that we were walking along, well, there was both sandy and then not sandy, like rocky. All right, tell me what beach that you have been to that you like a lot, or if you live by one, put live by one in the comments. We have really enjoyed being literally a 2-minute walk from the beach. It has been a really great thing about the where we're living here with Vanessa and Benny Carlo. All right, so this is now 2 Roma tomatoes that are diced, and my chicken needs to be stirred. So I'm gonna hop back over there. And this is like a step-by-step process a little bit in terms of, we're not putting, it's a 1-pot meal, but we're not gonna put it all in the pot at the same time. Okay, I'm gonna let that keep cooking, and we're gonna cut up our zucchini and our garlic after that. So I'm gonna see if I can get some of this tomato juice into that bowl. And then our zucchini, we're gonna cut into kind of like triangle chunks. So I'm gonna cut them like this, and then I'll show you how I'm gonna cut. So I'm gonna cut it in like half, and then they're pretty wide. This one actually is the least wide, so this one will be okay to go in fourths. And then I'm just gonna cut it like this. And then the other ones, I'm probably gonna make 2 cuts. So I'm gonna make 1 cut in half, and then probably another like in quarters, because these are a lot wider. This part of the zucchini is a lot wider. And then, so this is almost like a noodle in here. And then we're gonna check on our chicken in a second. And while that chicken is cooking, this is a great way to use our time. And we're almost done with this. And then we'll be just adding the other ingredients and adding some more spices. So we're gonna add a couple, like 2 more spices. And then we're going to add another, some more olive oil and some garlic. So we're almost done with these. And let's check on our chicken. Get this moved over. There's definitely some pink spots. I'm gonna try to get those cooking. All right, we're gonna come back around and finish cutting the zucchini. So sometimes I'll just do 1/3 like that instead of 4ths, depending on the zucchini. This one is an extra large zucchini. So this is equivalent to like 2 medium zucchinis. It's a really big zucchini. This one is really wide right here, so I'm gonna make it into 4ths. Hi. All right, now And the last one, and then the chicken is good, and then we're ready to go to the next step. So this ultimately doesn't take so long, but because there are several steps, I wanted to do it in this way today. Get these cut. This one cut. All right. The last little bits. Okay, now we're good to go with our zucchini. Now we just need to cut our garlic in como this big. All right, so now we're gonna remove our chicken and move it into here and set it to the side.
The silicone glue is only $5 for a big tube.
Oh, okay. This is for this. I'm just gonna use this to have an ease of movement. We're just gonna set it to the side. And then we're gonna add it back in at the end when we let everything cook all the way together. So now here, we're going to add we're making a Mediterranean inspired garlic herb chicken skillet, chicken and veggie skillet. Okay, so now we're gonna add to this our onion and our bell peppers. So I have the red bell peppers and the onions. And I'm gonna separate these out so it's a little bit easier. And then we're going to let these saute for a few minutes. This one didn't get separated. Okay, there we go. And let these saute. And while those are sauteing, we're going to we're going to cut our garlic. And let me turn you around again. So this is our Mediterranean inspired garlic herb chicken and veggie skillet. So I'm gonna move these into my basket that I had for the peppers and the onions. And then we're almost ready to do those, to add these. And then we're just gonna add some more spices and a little bit more olive oil. And then we're gonna add the last ingredients. So now I'm gonna just chop the garlic into little bits. And then the last piece is going to be putting just the next ones together. At the once we have added the other veggies, we're gonna add the other spices, and we're going to add back our chicken at the end. Cassie, we're almost there. So tell me where you're watching from. Thumbs up, hearts, share this video. If you like Mediterranean food, or maybe you live in a Mediterranean area, tell me if you live in one, if you like Mediterranean food. You probably do if you live there. And if you've never had it, tell me never had it. If you're not sure if you've had Mediterranean food. Okay. So now we've got, I got this one, the big one. This is 5 cloves of garlic. I did not say that. 5 cloves of garlic. Okay, now I'm gonna come back over to our veggies. Mix these again. These are smelling so good. Smelling so good. The sweetness with the onion. So good. Okay, I'm gonna double check this. And I actually meant to add another tablespoon of olive oil to this part, to this step. So we're adding another tablespoon of olive oil to this step. So I'm gonna mix that well. We had 1.5 tablespoons in the beginning with a pound of chicken and a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper and a teaspoon of pink salt or sea salt. And then we had 1 onion, 2 red bell peppers with 1 more tablespoon of olive oil. And that's it right, yeah, so far. That's it. We want them to get almost a little bit caramelized, but 5 to 7 minutes. I'm not gonna do, so that's the goal, is 5 to 7 minutes. That's what you should do when you make it. But for the sake of time for us on this live, I'm gonna do it a little bit shorter. But I wanna make sure that we get the tomatoes in the right time. Okay, so now we're gonna add to this our zucchini. These are 2 medium zucchinis. Gonna mix this with all of this. And we're gonna cook these for 4 to 5 minutes. And I'm gonna do more all at once, but I'm gonna tell you what it is so that you can do it in a little bit slower way. So you're gonna cook these for 4 to 5 minutes, and then at the last minute, after 4 to 5 minutes, you're going to add the garlic. And we're gonna do garlic for, once you do the 4 to 5 minutes of the zucchini, you've already done 5 to 7 minutes of your bell peppers and your onions. You're going to do 4 to 5 minutes of zucchini, and then about 60 seconds mix in your garlic. And now we're going to add our tomatoes and the rest of our spice. Put our chicken back in and add the rest of our spices. Some escaped. So now we have our 2 diced tomatoes with all the juice. We want this to get well mixed and start to kind of simmer into a bit of a sauce. But it's just diced, they're not pureed or anything. And we're gonna cook this for like 10 to 15 more minutes. Till everything is, till the tomatoes are nice, saucy, or just really kind of stewed. So I want my chicken to have all of this flavor too. So I'm gonna get this chicken in here, mixed well. Okay. Now it's just a matter of stirring it, but we're gonna put the rest of our spices. So we have a 1/4 teaspoon more of black pepper. Oops. And then a 1/2 teaspoon more of pink salt, sea salt. This doesn't come out very easily. coming out on the side, but not onto my spoon. All right. And then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of basil. This is new, so I might need to open it. Yep. Okay. Work. This is dried basil. Okay. Now get this in everywhere. And then 1.5 teaspoons of oregano. 1.5. This one also comes out like this. Of oregano. This is the half over here. All right. Now that my hand is covered in spices, now we are good. Now, of course, sea salt or pink salt to taste afterwards. I'm gonna mix this all around. Smells really good. Smells so good. Sliding a little bit. All right, and now it's done. Well, it's not done. We're gonna cook it for another like 10 to 15 minutes. I don't want my zucchini to be overly too soft, but I do want my tomatoes to have made kind of this like connected sauciness. And should be like 10 minutes more. That's it. And that is it. That's our Mediterranean-inspired skillet. So yummy. All right. So from Vanessa's house to your kitchen, global flavors and healthy plates from around the world. Bye.